A new tornado watch has been issued.
I was about to say, I swear, if the SPC side is glitching today too, that's going to be crazy. So, yeah, we've got quite the overnight severe weather outbreak on tap today across portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, a very small sliver of Texas and Arkansas as well. Looking like a quite potent setup for an MCS and or derecho tonight. The SPC has dropped part of that increased risk and moderate risk area on the western side. We had an outflow boundary that pushed through a little bit earlier than anticipated, and that is kind of tampered off some potential for severe storms in and west of Dodge City. So Dodge City is pretty much as far west as we are anticipating our MCS today, but further south could get that MCS to grow a little bit larger and possibly be as far west as maybe into or northwest of Woodward in Oklahoma. Also going to be as far as Tulsa, Oklahoma for tonight. Now, we did just get a tornado watch, but if you take a look at this, you'll notice this watch is in effect until about 11 p.m. Eastern. Now, here's the crazy part. Our derecho, our possible derecho, it's probably not going to form until 9 p.m. Still a good 4 hours, maybe even possibly as late as 5 hours from our main MCS to derecho becoming well organized, and that will likely form on right on the edge of our enhanced risk and our moderate risk area. That's where we're thinking our line is going to form late tonight, and it's going to form very slowly, but then after it really builds up that steam and strengthens towards about 10 o'clock, that's when that tornado watch is going to expire, right about 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern time. That is when we're going to be considering the potential for a PDS severe thunderstorm watch. So I want to be clear with this. I said it on Twitter too. This is not the main event. This first round of heavy rain showers is not the main event. According to chat, one of the YouTubers who was live earlier today potentially mistook this for the main event today. Possibly. I didn't watch his live stream. I've been busy today. So thankfully this didn't pop up too early. I couldn't stream till 3. And then once I got on towards about 3:30, 4 o'clock, that's when I was looking at trying to figure out when to go live here. But yeah, this is not the main round. So this is just a round of heavy convection that is going to be pushing through portions of southeast Kansas. And it may allow for the chance of a discrete supercell or two, or a clustered supercell to form somewhere around the Wichita area. And if that does occur, we could see some very large hail, 3.5 inch in diameter, 70-mile-an-hour winds, and a tornado or two will all be possible if we see any supercells fire there. Also, the chance for some supercells to fire back on the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas. Far western Oklahoma, far northeast panhandle of Texas could see some storms fire there. But our main event will be tonight. So let's take a look at the newest HRRR. We are getting the 19Z in, but we're probably going to stick with the 18 and 19Z HRRR today. Anything after that, and it's going to be really irrelevant. Now, you can see the HRRR is not handling that convection too well, very close to Wichita. So there is definitely the chance that it's not depicting the possible lack in instability with eastward extent thanks to this line. But we could still see an isolated supercell or two, some clusters fire near the Wichita area over the next 2 hours back towards Perryton, Texas, back into Oklahoma, Woodward, Oklahoma area. And then notice here, 9 p.m. Eastern, our line starts to fire in Kansas. Very slowly organizing. 9 p.m., 8, 9, 10 p.m., slowly organizing. And then as it goes into Wichita, that's when it picks up steam. 10 o'clock, 11 p.m. Eastern time, right around the last hour to around when this tornado watch expires is when this line will intensify quite rapidly as it approaches far southern Kansas. And that rapidly intensifies towards 10 o'clock, 11 p.m. Eastern time, and then continues to intensify throughout the rest of the very late evening hours into the overnight hours. And it progresses all the way until portions of eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, and southwest Missouri before finally dying out towards about 3, 4 a.m. So 3 to 4 a.m. is when this really starts to die out on the HRRR. But the HRRR does have another cluster slash MCS that forms tonight in Oklahoma, tracking into Arkansas. So we're looking at at least one big MCS to potential derecho for tonight. I don't know if it's going to be able to track far enough to be classified as a derecho, but we're talking about this thing moving all the way from northeast of Dodge City all the way down to Springfield, Missouri. That's about 350 to 400 miles worth of distance there. So it's there's definitely a chance we could see a derecho out of this for today. And I think the main limiting factor is this overconvection right in here. This was not supposed to be here. And we're going to pay very close attention to our model runs to see, or not our model runs, my bad, the meso analysis to see if that affects much of our open warm sector, which, by the way, our open warm sector is just now starting to get into the Wichita, Kansas area. So we really weren't expecting much activity before the 3 p.m. Eastern time frame, and now we are starting to see that activity slowly start to decrease, but it's still very much present. You can see a lot of it is weakened and moved off to the northeast, but we still have this cluster of heavy rain showers across southeast Kansas. So yeah, our main warm sector has hit like the southern end of this line. Our main warm sector of 2,000 plus instability is on like the southern end of the line here. And just going to need to watch mesoanalysis closely to see. I could definitely see this underperforming if this line does continue to push through our entire warm sector. But on those latest frames, it looks like it's starting to move, at least to me, a little bit more east, not so much to the south or southeast, but a little bit more like this, kind of right towards Wichita. So if this gets into Oklahoma and it taps into our open warm sector that's supposed to be used tonight, then this risk is going to be probably an underperforming risk. If it doesn't get into Oklahoma and say it stays north of that border and goes towards Wichita, then that's going to allow for our open warm sector, which is very potent towards central, or I should say volatile, my bad, very volatile towards like the Stillwater area, almost upwards of 5,000 instability there. If we can get that pushing into Kansas as this overconvection pushes eastward, then that's the scenario where we could see an MCS to a possible derecho tonight. And that's what the big question is what's going to happen with this convection here northwest of Wichita. Exactly where is it going to move? How fast is it going to move? Is it going to intensify? How much of the warm sector is going to be affected by it? Those are your big questions there. So looks like we are starting to see some more storms fire up here, um, southwest of Wichita. Those are going to be the storms to watch for an all hazards threat. Let's switch to weatherwise here. Yeah, so these are going to be the storms to watch for all hazards threats. But because we have this overconvection, I think it's going to be pretty messy. I don't expect us to see fully discrete storms here, due to that overconvection currently ongoing in Hutchinson in southern Kansas. Uh, we still do have one tornado warning active. Just a minute ago, we had two active. We're down to one again. Earlier this afternoon, we had an unwarned tornado in southeast Wyoming, and then it did go confirmed after I called it out on Twitter. Whenever I'm off of stream, there's a very high chance that I'm frequently watching the weather, and if I see something very concerning, I'm going to tweet about it. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can do that with the first link in the description. Is my link tree that leaves you leads you to all of my socials there. So I could give very quick, 1 minute, 2 minute updates there on X. Very, very easy to do updates there as opposed to starting up a full live stream for a storm that lasts 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let me see here. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive on into the outlook for today. So we have a moderate risk, just like we talked about yesterday, thinking this was going to go 45 sig for wind. It did. We have a moderate risk, level 4 to 5, for very, very significant and destructive damaging winds across portions of southern Kansas into north central Oklahoma, even as far back west into a very small portion of the panhandle of Oklahoma. There is definitely the chance for a couple tornadoes today. I think the main tornado threat, that's a updated tornado warning. Still radar indicated up there. I think the main tornado threat will be with our MCS and or derecho that fires late tonight once it becomes organized into the overnight hours close to 11 p.m. midnight Eastern time. That's going to be when our tornado threat peaks, which will probably be somewhere on the border of Kansas and Oklahoma. Hail threat, could see some large hail. I think the hail threat is going to be very dependent on discrete storms. So I think if we can get any discrete storms near Wichita or in the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma, those are the two areas I'm watching for the greatest hail threat. If we can get any discrete storms in those two areas, that's going to be our best opportunity for 3 to 3.5 inch hail. And then, of course, damaging winds being a big concern. Very large, 30 significant, and a quite decent-sized moderate risk for a 45 significant wind risk there. So overall, we're looking at a very destructive day for damaging winds. 90 to 100 mile per hour winds will be possible. Very large hail, 3 to 3.5 inch in diameter, and a couple tornadoes, likely into the overnight hours, will all be possible across portions of Kansas and Oklahoma for tonight. So should be a very late night event for today. Tomorrow, we do have a enhanced risk for severe weather. So we mentioned this in yesterday's live stream too, how we would probably see an upgrade to enhanced. Didn't think it would be this big. Enhanced risk all the way from just east of Springfield, Missouri for tomorrow, through St. Louis, through southern Illinois, through central Indiana, northern Indiana, into southern Michigan and northwest Ohio. Quite a large enhanced risk for severe weather for tomorrow. Really didn't see that being that large of an enhanced risk, but they did issued a big time enhanced risk there. 30% wind risk, so we could see some gusts as high as 70 to 80 miles per hour tomorrow, anywhere in that red or around that red area. The hail risk is also going to be a bit more elevated because you could see some hailstones around 2 inch in diameter, maybe some locally greater hailstones back towards Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri if discrete storms get going. And the tornado threat, quite a different shift for your tornado threat. You could see your enhanced risk out there in Indiana back down towards Missouri. And if you look at that peak tornado threat, your 5% tornado risk actually goes into Wisconsin and western Michigan, well removed from that enhanced risk for severe storms. So not only do we have an enhanced risk in place across Indiana and Missouri, but that tornado risk actually shifts even northwest of that enhanced risk for severe weather. So areas like Chicago in Illinois, Bloomington, Illinois, all the way back down into the St. Louis, Missouri, even including way north into Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and then all the way east into just to the north of Dayton, Ohio. So very large 5% tornado risk for tomorrow. And I do think I do think this could go enhanced as well for tornadoes. I think we could see a 10% or a 10 significant tornado risk across portions of southeast Wisconsin, northeast Illinois, northern Indiana, into portions of southern Michigan. I do think we could see a couple tornadoes, possibly a strong tornado or two being possible across this area. I don't know if it would be a 10 hatched or a 10% risk, but I do think we could see potentially a tornado risk upgrade there across southern Michigan into northeastern Illinois, where that low pressure and remnant MCV will track across, and that's going to be on the northern side of your risk area in terms of your 5%. Then on day 3, we've got a quite large slight risk for severe weather. A bit unsure on where the enhanced risk may be placed. I do think Virginia and North Carolina has a really good shot at seeing a 30% risk for damaging winds. I'm not just saying that because that's the area I would chase, but I think models are going to trend way more linear further south, which it seems like they are at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a enhanced risk in Virginia, North Carolina, and maybe even another one back up in New York, Pennsylvania. I believe the SPC mentioned kind of a potential and kind of hinted towards the potential of an enhanced risk for damaging winds further into the northeastern U.S. So a lot of questions regarding day 3 for Thursday's risk, because further north you have stronger forcing, but you have much weaker instability. Further south into the Carolinas, and specifically southern Virginia, central Virginia, into central North Carolina, that's where you have 3,000 instability at, but the forcing is a little bit weaker. So no area has the perfect overlap of really good instability and really good forcing mixed with good wind shear. Not a lot of wind shear south, not the best forcing south, good forcing north, good wind shear north, but not a great amount of instability north. So I think somebody is eventually going to be upgraded to a enhanced risk for severe weather between New York and North Carolina for Thursday, and it's probably going to be for damaging winds. I'd be shocked if it's for hail or tornadoes. I think damaging winds will be the biggest issue on Thursday. All right, let's go over to our tornado warning again out here in kind of east central Wyoming. Just to let you know, there is a tornado warning there northeast of Manville, still radar indicated. But our main area today is going to be focused in the orange and the red area. That's a level 4 enhanced, or rather a level 4 moderate risk and a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms. So you have a level 1 in the dark green, level 2 in the yellow, a level 3 in the orange, and a level 4 there in the red. So areas in southern Kansas, Wichita, Greensburg, Pratt, Coldwater, Wellington, Arkansas City, and Kansas, Independence, Howard, Coffeyville, southern Kansas, all at risk for up to 100-mile-an-hour winds. And then back into Oklahoma, Stillwater, Woodward, Buffalo, back out towards Bartlesville, northern side of Tulsa, Fairfax, you guys all inside that moderate risk as well. So a pretty good sized moderate risk there. I got upgraded to a marginal at some point today. Oh, come on. Why do you got to fire right when I start my live stream? You've got to be kidding me. Really? You couldn't fire like 2 hours ago when I was completely available to chase? Man. Yeah, I'll probably end up chasing Thursday, but it looks like a big wind bag, so I'm a little bit 50-50 on it, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of chasing linear mess, but hey, let's talk about this storm southwest of the Wichita radar site here. You've got to be joking. No way. You've got to be kidding. Get me down there. Well, we're cooked. The main radar site for the risk area is down. Wow. Well, that is going to be a very big issue. Well, looks like the Oklahoma radar is going to be the main radar for Kansas today. So here's your storm currently. I was wondering why both of the radars were so different. I'm like, why is the Oklahoma radar having like a full supercell and then the Wichita one has like a rain shower? That's because the Wichita, Kansas radar is down. So hopefully that comes back up. But now under a severe storm here in Harper, Kansas, some damaging winds of about 60 miles per hour, as well as 1.5-inch hail will be possible with this storm. So make sure you're away from doors and windows. Also, make sure that you are a bit close to your safe spot because this storm could attempt to rotate. I don't think it is in the best environment, right? Actually, I stand corrected. The warm sectors hit this area, so it's actually in a good environment. This actually is very much capable of rotating. So we could see this attempt to rotate in the near future. So according to mesoanalysis, it is in quite a good environment for all significant hazards. What's up with the College Due page not loading in the new HRRR? Let me refresh that completely. I'm stuck at 5% on the new HRRR on College Due page. But, I mean, we're going to really be using the 18Z HRRR. I don't want to... I'll still look at the new HRRR ones, but I really don't want to look at them anymore since these storms have started to fire. We want to be using a lot more mesoanalysis from here on out. Every time you hear those beeps, that's a new warning and or an updated warning. So that could be a severe warning being updated / upgraded or downgraded, or it could be a completely new severe warning. And once we get into the peak of this outbreak, we'll switch over to other scenes to where you don't have to deal with that beep.
Shit.
Because, you know, once we start seeing our MCS tonight, it's going to be, man, it'll just be probably consistent beeps. NAM 3K on Thursday shows quite filled up warm sector in the northeast with discrete cells in a line. Let me go check. I didn't look at the new NAM.
Is Ryan live yet?
Wow. Wow. That is shockingly impressive.
Nope.
Let me check. Yeah, we'll probably have a 5% tornado risk up in the northeastern U.S. on Thursday. I doubt it will go 10% or 10 sig. That's very rare for the northeast, but probably going to see a 5% up there in New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut. And man, I love the new NAM 3K for my area. I love the NAM 3K for my area. 200 0 to 1 kilometer helicity. Yeah, right. I would be chasing that any day of the week. See, that's the thing, Ben. It doesn't matter about my mod dome because I have a car. So I could just go drive away from the mod dome. And you know what happens every time? It's literally every time I chase. Nearly every time I chase. I leave my house, I go 2-3 hours away, and boom, supercell over my house. It has happened like 3 out of the 5 chases this year. Even one time, me and Lucky were chasing, and my house got into a tornado warning when I was like 2 hours away. I was like, "You're kidding me!" I think Caden's right. I think the mod dome is actually just me. I think my car carries the mod dome with it. I'm pretty sure. It's wild. Yeah, so main storm to watch right now is definitely the one out here in south central Kansas. I could definitely see this thing being tornadic in 30 minutes or so. as it moves to the
Hey.
northeast. I did not think it would be this discrete. I thought it would be a little bit more north and therefore more clustered. Right now, it is fully discrete. These storms are moving like this. They're moving pretty much dead east now. And it's really all by itself further to the south. So I could definitely see this, especially since it looks like it's probably latching onto a boundary there. This definitely could produce a tornado in the near
Oh
future.
shit.
Kaylee, sure. We'll count your mod dome. Although it hasn't been too effective. Sometimes the mod domes do break. It's quite rare, but sometimes they do break.
Fuck is hot.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to break a mod dome, but sometimes they're broken. I mean, shoot, I didn't even get rain on a moderate risk out here in Southern Virginia in 2023, so not even a moderate could break my mod dome. That shows you how strong mine is.
Dog, I'm sweating like
Yeah,
a
it does look
motherfucker.
like a hook's
It is
forming.
so
I don't see much velocity
unbelievably
correlating
hot
with
in
that, but that
I've
could
got
be
my
a
door
legitimate hook
open
echo
with
there.
air conditioning.
Very good looking supercell.
It's starting
Either
to
way,
piss
for a storm that just fired 40 minutes ago, barely even that, this looks really, really good. Really good intensification
much
for this
fucking
storm.
lint.
No. Wichita radar, you have failed us. It didn't even get hit by the storms yet. It didn't even get hit by the storms. It just died out before the storms were even close to it. Yeah, we could see some gusts upwards of probably 50, maybe even 60 miles per hour here north of Wichita over the next few minutes. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a severe warning for that. Definitely some small hail, some gusty winds starting to increase with that over the, or about to be over the Andale area, which is northwest of Wichita. And that's going to move through the northern side of Wichita here in about 30 or so minutes. It's relatively slow moving. It's having it's being hit by a lot of cell mergers, so it is relatively slow moving at the moment. Two more minutes left on that tornado warning in east central Wyoming. But main cell to watch still. It's definitely this one here, southwest of Harper. Wonder if there's any chasers on this. I wouldn't be shocked if this is, let me see here. I'll go see if I could get a chaser on this real quick, y'all. Always check the weed whacker. That's who I'm gonna go check first. Yep, he's on it. Of course he is. 90% of the time when I go on this guy's live stream, he's on the storm that looks the most impressive. I see a lot of scud. Actually looks like some good rotation right there. Tornado warning does continue in east central Wyoming.
A new tornado warning has
just
been
to
issued.
the east of Manville. But yeah, this storm is indeed rotating here. Very close to Harper. How does Reed do it? I think he just teleports. I think he found a teleportation device and he's just not telling anybody. Then again, this is very close to his headquarters. His headquarters is in, I think, central Oklahoma. So, I mean, that's not too far. Considering he's gone from Oklahoma to Florida and Oklahoma to North Dakota before. Oklahoma to southern Kansas is not that far. Not a lot of lower level helicity here, but that boundary interaction is going to make up for it. So this storm is not even going to wait 30 minutes. It is actively attempting to rotate here. I don't see a lot of rotation. It looks like just west to east cloud motion right now on the Weed Whacker's feed. I don't see a lot of turning. Oh, now that's turning. Oh, I see some turning now. now I see some turning on his feed. That's definitely rotating. Pointed the camera a little bit more to the right, and then boom, there's your wall cloud. 290 0 to 1 kilometer SRH from a VWP on the terminal. Yeesh. Mezzo has about 45. That terminal, it's heading into better wind shear. So where it is right now, there's about 45. But in about an hour or so, it's going to move into an environment with near 140, 150, according to Mezzo. But I feel like I would trust the VWP over Mezzo analysis, personally. I think the VWP would be more accurate. So it's definitely rotating. I don't think it's enough for a tornado warning. I don't think it is an imminent tornado, but it is rotating and actively trying to produce a tornado. But I don't believe it's actually imminent. It doesn't look like it's a strong enough area of rotation. I don't see a funnel cloud. It's not very, very well defined, so I don't believe it is imminent at the moment. But it is rotating. It's not latched onto the boundary, but there is a boundary, like right here. It looks like it's nearly latched on. If not, it actually may be latched on. It might actually be latched on. If you loop it, you can tell from these lighter DBZ colors. Watch how it sweeps those lighter DBZ colors to its southwest. So yeah, it looks like it's almost latched on to me. It looks like it's almost latched on to me. If not is. I feel like the hook has some work to do. Not the most classic hook echo, but the base of the supercell is very nice. That is a very nice inflow cutoff there, just south of Harper. Hook echo, a little bit sloppy at the moment, but just the arching of that supercell is very, very nice. It is not like rapidly rotating or anything, but it is definitely starting to or it is rotating, my bad. It's been rotating for a little bit. So it's rotating, but not enough to imminently drop a tornado, which is why it's not tornado warned. But in the future, it's probably going to strengthen, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a warning at any moment, because the environment it's moving into looks very favorable for tornadoes. So this is in south central Kansas, dead center of our moderate risk area. Nearly dead center. Dead center would be in like Arkansas City, Kansas. This is quite well northwest of that, but pretty much dead center of our moderate risk. Pretty much dead center. Let's see here. Looks like we got more storms firing to the southwest, so that is going to initiate thunderstorms. We've got a boundary south of Dodge City. You can see it. Very weak boundary, but it is there. And right now, that's helping to initiate storms in Sun City. And that's going to probably continue to help initiate storms. I don't know about a Singa Derecho tonight. It depends on how much convection we see in front. with this boundary action that we're dealing with. Kind of like what we saw in Texas 9 days ago. We had a bunch of overconvection in front, and then that overconvection in front of the cold front ended up becoming our main event. I do think we will see multiple instances of destructive winds at or greater than 80 miles per hour. But I'm not for sure if it's going to be a big, well-organized, like, classic derecho. But the damaging winds will be a big issue. So they did introduce a tornado possible tag for this severe. It is also now a significant severe for 1.75-inch hail. So if you're in Harper, I highly recommend being away from doors and windows and stay close to your safe spot. This storm is actively rotating southwest of Crystal Springs in south central Kansas. It doesn't look as impressive on that newest scan. It's trying to work some things out, but it's definitely going to continue to rotate, probably for a long time. To be honest with you, it's in a really good environment, and it's just going to keep moving into a better and better environment. If there is a chance for a solid, strong tornado today, it's going to be with this storm. It is fired in nearly the perfect spot. It is nearly in the perfect spot for the greatest tornado potential. So, in my opinion, if we're going to get a strong tornado today associated with supercells and not the line, it would be from this. I could still see a strong tornado happening out of our an MCS late tonight. But if we're talking about like a discrete supercell, I think this storm is probably going to have the best chance to do so for the entire day. Keeping an eye on the Weed Whacker. He's got still a pretty good view of it. It is not rapidly rotating. It is rotating quite broadly right now. It's not a very tight area of rotation. And then they did just severe warn the storm out here for Park City, just north of Wichita. So they did exactly what I thought they were going to do, and they issued that 60-mile-an-hour severe. Also observed 1-inch hail. So 1-inch hail has been observed here west of Park City, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds could also occur as this moves east into Park City. Let me go check mesoanalysis. We got a new mesoanalysis here. It's right on a instability axis. It is in...
What?
It is in a great spot. Look at this. It is in a great spot. As long as it doesn't get too clustered, if just quickly looking back to it, you can see there is some storms north of it. As long as nothing clusters it too bad, it should be able to continue to rotate and strengthen. But looking at mesoanalysis here, a little bit more zoomed in there, your instability axis here between 3,500 and 1,000 instability, I mean, it's right in between this storm. So it's right on that instability axis, directly on it. Take a look at some other ingredients. Supercell composite, you can see it's in a really good area for supercell composite.
Bruh.
One thing I wanted to show you is violent tornado parameter. Now, don't let that scare you. But basically, this just means it's in quite a good environment for a strong tornado. We've seen countless environments for very high violent tornado parameters, and it just does pretty much nothing. But basically, this means if you do get a discrete storm in this area, there's probably going to be a chance for it to rotate. I wouldn't necessarily say there's like a chance for a violent tornado. I don't know the parameters it uses. Okay, actually, here it is. So it uses mixed layer instability, mid-level clouds, SRH there, lapse rates, and effective inflow. That's the big thing there, effective inflow. So that's what it uses. Sounds like to me it's basically just showing you the potential for rotation, not necessarily an actual violent tornado. I don't like to show it often because it sounds very scary. Your significant tornado parameter in the effective layer, that's about a 4 to 5 there. So, I mean, it's in a very good spot in my opinion. Take a sounding, we can look at this a bit better. So, not much issues with this. You have good veering, maybe not the best veering in the very lower level. Definitely quite weak, especially right near the surface. Yeah, not really good lower level curvature there. Mid-level curvature is really good. Good instability, like I said, right on that instability axis. Really good lapse rates. That's probably contributing to a good violent tornado parameter. VTP is what it's called for short. Probably contributing to a higher number for that, since you have such high lapse rates in the 0 to 3 kilometer. And like I said, just the 0 to 1 kilometer SRH, that being 45 on here, makes me think it's not in the best environment, but a VWP for the terminal radar south of Wichita observed, I think it was, I don't know how much it was, but I know it was more than 200, and mesoanalysis says 45. So I think it is in a very, very favorable environment, and also have to mention it's very close to boundaries too. It's likely latched on to a weak boundary, so it's in a very good spot. It's in a very good spot. That hook echo's still a little bit disorganized, not the best area of rotation with it either. I want to see if that hook occludes up at all. But man, I mean, from a reflectivity standpoint, this is classic. Very, very classic supercell on reflectivity. Velocities does tell a different story. And we do have a terminal radar, which updates about every minute and a half or so in advance to this storm. So closer it gets to like the Conway Springs area, the more high definition radar we're going to get, both from our terminal and from our main radar. Man, SBC bugging again. Look at it. It's down above my face cam again.
Are you live saying that?
Top left.
Yes, yes.
I heard a very faint rumble of thunder. Man, it's special weather stay minute. Are you kidding me? Things gonna go very close to my house. I'll get clipped by probably the northern edge of that.
I doubt it.
Bro, it literally, like, it couldn't fire 2 hours early to where I could go chase it.
When is he gonna come on the stream?
It's wild.
I'm on the stream.
Another one for 16 more minutes.
Yeah, when
well
is Ryan
east of
gonna get on his
Manville in
stream?
East Central Wyoming.
Oh, no, you know what I meant.
He's just playing music right now. It's starting to piss me off.
That is our only active tornado warning at the moment.
Yes, finally.
But the main storm to watch is actually the one in Harper, South Central Kansas. Definitely want to keep an eye to see how many of these storms fire, because that could cause an over convection
Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. It's
for
the
our
168th
MCS
day
later
of the year.
tonight.
It's currently 5:29 over here on the East Coast, 4:29 Central, 21:29 Z, and we've got ourselves a nice little storm that has sparked up down here in portions of Kansas.
How many cells
actually
fire
a couple,
off of that
also
area?
back there in Colorado.
outflow
We're
boundary.
watching Wyoming. We're watching places even
Look
down
at
there
what
in
cat,
Georgia.
man.
We've got
The
a couple of good
supercell?
storms that we'll touch on right here in a moment.
On
But
MR
we're
message,
going to
it
get
looks like
started
a
with this
big
one.
blob.
We do have a a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Harper and Norwich.
What?
But we also have this
yeah,
y'all
so we
watch
can't
here
actually see it from our
meteorologist
Wichita
Andy Hill
radar.
is saying y'all watch out here in Harper.
We won't
as the
get better
storm does
data
look
for
like
our
it's,
main radar
it's obviously a
Wichita.
supercell and it's rotating.
But thankfully we have a
and
terminal
at some
to
point
its
we might
south.
need a
The
tornado
boundaries,
warning
yeah.
here, so we're watching that very
I see
closely
the boundaries.
as the storm continues to intensify and move off to the north and east.
Also
like
looks
Harper,
like there's a boundary
Danville,
to the north of
and
this
up there
storm.
towards Runnymede. Need to be watching out. Now, if you look above my head,
Actually,
we've got
it's right
Alex
there.
Thornton
There's
out
an
there on the
outflow
ground in
boundary right
Harper,
here.
Kansas right now.
It's going into the hail
and,
core of this
he
storm.
honestly was just turned around right before we started
And
the
I think
stream.
that's
Look
what
like
has also
that.
towards the
contributed
base
to
of
our
the storm,
storms
and there's a
in
wall cloud there.
the
There's
Lake City
definitely
area firing.
something going on.
And you
So
can see
if
it
he gives
turns
us another
back
view
over
here,
this
we'll
way,
pull
goes
him up
back
full
up like
screen.
that.
But otherwise,
So you have a
we're just
big
going to be flying by
boundary
radar
there.
here for a little bit as the
Bunch
storm
of boundaries
continues
out
to
over in
intensify.
here.
Now we've also got a
Probably
really
some
strong
boundaries back
storm
out in
moving
Texas.
into Wichita, and unfortunately,
Oof.
the Wichita radar
Is that actually a boundary?
is
That is
down,
a
right
complete
now.
boundary.
It's been a couple
right
hours
there.
since we've gotten an update, but we
That
can
is
see it
a
here from
crazy boundary.
KVNX. We've got
Probably
a strong
won't see
storm
anything
moving
initiate
into
off of that,
Wichita.
but
It's also
the
rotating a
northern
little bit. I
side,
mean, I think the
up
main
here
threat
towards
here is going to be the hail
Perryton,
and the wind. So get ready for that
we
up
could
here
see
around
storms
Mays,
initiate
Park
off of
City,
the
and
northern
Bel
edge of
Air.
that boundary, but
That's especially
like
going
south
to
of
be,
Amarillo
I
probably
think, a
won't see
problem
anything. It's
up
gonna
here
be
on the northern side of
northeast side
Wichita
of the,
over the next little bit. Now we expect a
Panhandle of
large
Texas
line of
there.
storms to form here, all the way down into the
Definitely
Panhandle
got
of
one more.
Oklahoma and
Quit
Texas,
fucking
on that
and
newest
catching.
down to the
scan.
south and east, and that's
Ah,
why
stupid
all the
fucking
places
much
in the
tighter.
red there are under a tornado
much
watch
tighter
tonight.
velocity couplet there. Let me go back
So
to the
let's
weed
take
whacker.
a look at that
See if
really
he's
quick.
got.
We've got a tornado
Ooh,
watch
that's
in effect for a couple tornadoes.
That's
possible,
starting to look a lot
scattered
more
hail up
like
to
a
apple
huge
size
mezzo
likely,
right there.
and scattered gusts up to 75 miles per hour likely out
Pretty
here
sure that's
in
a
portions of
huge
Oklahoma,
mezzo.
Kansas, and Texas. 1.2
Hello,
million
Otter.
people
Nice
out
to see
there
you, Vinny.
are under this watch until 10 p.m. Central. Now this includes places like
So this storm,
Stillwater and Woodward.
if it
in
keeps
Oklahoma.
up for any
It does
longer,
include
we'll
Perryton
probably end up
in
with a
Texas,
warning on this.
and it also includes Wichita, Kansas.
The only reason
of
why we
course,
haven't seen a
up there
tornado
towards
warning is
Chanute.
because it's kind of
So
been
that's
a
one
little
of the
bit
things that we're watching
unstable.
over
The
here with
hook's
that
been
tornado
wobbling,
watch
and
that we
it's
do
not
have
been
in effect right now.
well defined for the entire
until 10
lifespan, and
p.m.
the velocity's
Central.
been
Now, real quick
fluctuating.
before we get started, I also want to show this really quick. This is awesome.
So if this hook
Dalton
doesn't
Stevens from the
include,
Y'all
and
Squad
if-
is out
if
there
it
in
stays like
Fairmont,
this,
West Virginia today
we're gonna
with
see
Tanner and
a tornado warning. Just a heads up, there's a chance I lose power. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I can already hear thunder from this far, very far in the distance. So, just a heads up there. If I disappear out of nowhere, you know it's because I got struck by lightning. Or if it's in like 30 minutes, the rain's too heavy. Whenever the SBC's site wants to come back up, we'll put that back on the top left. I'll refresh it again to see if that wants to come back up for us. There you go. Those velocities still very, very well defined there. That hook has occluded from what I could tell. But if those velocities continue up, you know, we could easily get a tornado warning here. It's becoming very, very rain-wrapped south of Harper. It's a very rain-wrapped area of rotation. Yeah, you can see the last 3 scans, that's really ramped up on velocities. It's not strong rotation or anything like that, but it is getting stronger. It's up to about 50, 60 mile an hour rotation there. And it just all fell apart, so there you go. We'll have to see if a new hook echo tries to form out of it. Because that's completely occluded now. Still plenty of severes back out into Colorado and Wyoming. None of them are nearly as concerning as the one in south central Kansas right now. But still have that tornado warning well east of Manville in east central Wyoming.
Oh.
And then all those blue boxes you see out here in Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia,
Which radar?
Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi. Those are all special weather statements. Most of them vary in intensity. See 40 mile an hour winds,
ICT?
40 mile an hour winds, 50
Or
mile an hour
VNX?
winds. 40-mile-an-hour winds.
It's probably VNX.
Those are all special weather statements for strong storms. They're not severe, but they are strong storms. That's the step before a severe warning.
Yeah, I just fucking said that.
Severe thunderstorm warning now for Wichita. So the city of Wichita
I said
in South Central
VNX.
Kansas, now under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh my god,
and
it's the
1 inch
same
hail.
fucking thing.
No, it's not.
We'll have to keep an eye on this. There's a small
could be
chance
ICT
that
is
this will literally
Wichita.
take up all the environment and literally
well,
become our main event.
See, when I
Kinda like
say
what happened in
airport codes,
Texas
I don't say
about
K.
9 days ago.
So for Dodge City, it would be DDC, or for my
What if
city,
there was something called DDC?
We'll see.
What if you said like
That could be,
DDC? What
something
if
to
it was
note.
like
like for
Cold
Front
example,
may not be able to
Detroit,
fire
it would be
thunderstorms if this ends up
DTW.
with becoming
or,
our main event here.
Yeah, DTW.
Also, if you guys don't keep up much with the weather, you may have not
Yes, and
realized
then
that we actually
YIP
had
is Willow
multiple
Run Airport.
100-mile plus.
And then
wind reports out
KCLE is
We had
Cleveland.
multiple
So
wind reports of
and that's
greater
the
than
airport
100
radar.
mile-an-hour winds.
so
in
it's literally
Wichita,
the same.
early this morning, about 4:30 a.m. I think 4:30 a.m. Eastern, 3:30 a.m. Central.
No,
Let's see.
no. What you need to do is stop being a
Right
fucking
around there, maybe a
dipst.
little bit later than that. Wichita was under a extremely dangerous severe thunderstorm warning for 100-mile-an-hour winds observed.
Oh,
got
rotation
into
might be
100
tightening
mile-an-hour
up
winds
right on
observed
top of
severe
Harp.
warning.
Oh, yep, it's definitely tightening up,
A new
tightening up.
PDS severe
Observed.
thunderstorm
Multiple
warning has
different
been issued.
measurements observed greater than 100-mile-an-hour wind gust for quite a while. I believe there was one measured at whatever it was. Like
Where?
maybe, I don't know. I remember one at 3 something 6, and then like 6 minutes later there was another 101-mile-an-hour wind gust. It was like 3 different main
So
gusts.
our most immediate
of
tornado
100
threat,
mile-an-hour
though, at
winds.
least
Yeah, the
in
downtown
our
area,
opinion, right now is
yes.
going to be this storm over here
Yes,
that's
downtown
happening near
Wichita, and the
Harper.
northern side
So
as well.
y'all watch out and make sure you're ready to heed that warning whenever it comes through. The storm that's about to hit Wichita, this is what it looks like right now.
No, our radar
Let
is
me
down.
Pull this up from Corey Gerken. As soon as it
That,
gets
that just
past
went
these
down
trees
like
here, you'll
a couple
see,
minutes ago.
just a really ominous looking storm as the
Or has it been down for like an
I should be
hour?
getting
a
storms
severe
tonight.
thunderstorm is about to
Yeah, it's
slam
actually been
into
down for about an
downtown
hour.
Wichita here
I mean,
soon.
it's
But
a
if the
slight
radar,
Riverview, you
if
guys
the
gotta get
radar
ready.
was down from the storms
It's
this
coming
morning,
for
this
you.
radar would have been down
And
since
then
like
also
4 a.m.
places out here
And that's
around
not the case.
Westlink Village. It's literally going to be there in a few moments.
Still a area of rotation, albeit a lot weaker, but still
Trying
there,
to find
southwest of
as
Harper on that
many-
occluding
What
hook,
the
actually.
fuck? Why is it down?
These as I
What the
can.
heck? What? Wait.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
I've got
there's
just enough
a
of this,
radar to the.
It's on the ground.
it does look like
to the
I
east
just
of
went to
Phila-
Reed's feed, and he's got
Storm
a
chaser
large.
There's a
still
radar
type
that says
tornado
east of
on the
Philadelphia
ground. There's
called
a
K.
unwarned tornado on the ground south of Harper.
really close.
Tornado is on the ground.
So this is the one.
I just
where Andy
switched
stuff
to
that y'all
Reed's
watch
feed,
on
and
it.
I saw a big tornado, and I was like,
So we're gonna
"What?"
keep a
Where?
close eye on this area as time goes on. Once
So
again,
Oh,
we
yep,
backed
yep,
up
yep,
on
yep, yep, yep.
tornadoes
That
on
is
the
very
ground.
tight
we're gonna
rotation.
be
That area
live
of
here
rotation is
just
very
to the
tight.
south of Harper.
You know, a while.
This is in a
as
pretty
we track these
populated
storms.
area. I think it's
correlation
going to
coefficient.
avoid
talking about Wichita
downtown
right now,
Harper.
but just keep in mind
But
that
it's
this
very
is coming
close
There's a
to
hook on.
populated
towards
Oh my
area.
the
God,
you know,
it's getting
areas
tight.
near Tulsa.
So
a little
unwarned
bit
tornado
later,
ongoing
back
here.
there towards places just north and
Just
west
to
of
the
Oklahoma
south of
City.
Harper. I
we'll be
don't
talking about you
believe
guys
it's
a
like a
little bit
strong
later as well.
tornado,
There's
but it
also
was,
more
Norwich.
coastal
I
weather
have
It
a
was
cousin
quite the
from
jump
Norwich,
scare going
Kansas.
to Reed's feed and then
Andy
just
actually
seeing
just upgraded as y'all
tornado
watch
on the
here.
ground.
So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Harper.
That was a pretty
When I
good-
build my
pretty good
interceptor,
cone tornado that he
dude,
just
when
had
I
out of
build my
nowhere.
interceptor eventually,
y'all
I might
watch out,
have his
okay,
team help
because
me.
This storm
Or I
looks
might
like
hire my
it's about
own
to
team of engineers to
rotate
help
enough
me.
to become a tornado. In fact, it already is.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't be surprised if
Reed
it's
is going to be in
already
my
National
state
Weather Service
for
to
I
Halloween.
don't think
final
it's going to be
decision
a
push
long
and,
lived
or
tornado at
for-
all.
you know what I'm saying?
And it's
He's
fully
gonna be
rain
here
wrapped, so I did not
October
think he would see
31st.
it. I'm
Here, if you're
shocked
watching this
Reed even
broadcast
saw it.
in our
I'm
going
very
to
surprised he
Danville,
even was able to
Milan,
see it. You
and
know why he was able to
Mayfield
see
in
it?
Kansas.
Because he was like
Y'all watch
100
out. When
feet
that
from
warning
it.
does officially come through,
Maybe
make
even
sure
less
you,
than that.
know exactly what you're going to do. You want to get
That's
into
why
that
he was
lowest,
able to
most
see it.
interior, You want to get into the lowest floor, most interior room, with as many walls between you and the outside world as
so
possible.
you ain't going to be able to see it
sturdy
until you're
building.
nearly
We don't want to be in RVs, mobile homes, or
inside
anything like
the area
that for
of
this. You want to get
rotation.
into a site-built
So we just had
building.
an unwarned tornado strike southwest of Harper. I'm not
So
sure
if
if
you're
it's
just now
still on
tuning
the
in,
ground.
we've got a storm that's trying to get a little tornadic here.
Those velocities are
between
definitely
Harper
a lot
and
weaker.
Argonia in Harper County and Sumner counties.
Still
in
could be
Kansas.
on the ground south of Harper. Should be a new scan. Let me go back to weatherwise here.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Wichita State University.
Still could be
campus.
a
Cool.
unwarned tornado south of Harper right
see if I
now
can
in
find
southern
that.
Kansas. Hold on, was that it? Nah, it's too rain wrapped. Only got a good like 5 or so second.
So we're
visual
watching
of
this
it
storm come into Wichita, Kansas,
before
y'all.
Reed had to move.
And I do think that especially on the northern side, we're going to have some wind damage here because we just got a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust report from the Mount Hope area. So right now, some of the strongest
we just
winds
had
are
a
moving
unwarned
into
tornado
Valley
moments
Center
ago
and
south
Childs
of Harper.
Acres.
It's probably
we got-
lifted by now. I would be pretty shocked if it's still on the ground. It's likely lifted at this point, but you could see an outflow boundary very well attached to it now.
Guys,
good news
bad
is though
news.
it's
The
starting
tornado's
to get a
coming
lot more
straight towards
clustered.
me.
So
In
that's what's
where?
really good.
BeamNG. I'm playing BeamNG.drive.
Starting to get a lot more clustered there.
You got a problem with it?
It's a moderate risk
Not
today.
seeing
We
too
all need
much
to be
over
covering.
convection issue back out
Fuck.
here in southern
Okay,
Kansas.
tornado's coming straight towards me. I gotta back up.
We'll have to
Tornado
see
warning,
if this becomes
tornado
our main
warning,
line
Harper.
or if the cold
There's a
front
PDS
initiates
warning.
A new
later
tornado
tonight
warning
towards
has
9
been
o'clock.
issued.
There's
There's
an
a
observed
PDS
tornado
warning.
warning. We will
There's a
Once you
PDS.
find it, you get
stay
a
with
lot
us.
of
See
storm
PDS.
damage
New
in
information.
Kansas.
This
We've got a
tornado
Okay,
warning
cool.
has been
tornado warning
upgraded.
here for
This is
Harper
real
and
life.
King
So now
counties
a
in
There's an
confirmed
observed tornado
tornado.
once
warning
again, y'all,
in Kansas.
Very,
we got an
Cool.
early heads up here if
very
you were
quick to
watching this
issue that, not gonna
broadcast.
lie. That was
As
actually
You want a
Andy,
cookie?
y'all watch
Law
out for a
enforcement
while
has
now.
confirmed
We
a
have an
tornado.
official confirmed tornado.
That was
on
about
the
as
ground.
fast as they could do
Actually,
it.
law enforcement.
It doesn't
Listen,
take like
I'm
10
trying to
seconds
be
issue
fucking
a tornado.
professional
This
here,
is,
okay?
for Harper and
They were
King
probably
counties
watching
in
Reed's feed
Kansas.
and got that
We
report
need you
from
to
law
take shelter
enforcement
immediately. We've got a
3-4 minutes
tornado
ago,
warning in
and
effect here.
within a
We
3-minute
also
why
window.
would
have
it-
golf
I
ball
mean, that's
size
probably
hail
Womp womp.
associated
It's not
with
my
it. Now,
fault
let's talk
for your
about some
tornado
local
thing. You said I really don't
locations
care.
in here. We got the
Takes 3
Grandview
minutes or so.
School and the Harper Elementary School, both inside the polygon there.
Okay,
We also have
cool.
the
I
He
love
Harper
it.
is the
Center
definition of Florida,
inside
man.
that polygon. So let's take shelter
Cool.
immediately and let's once again get
You would-
underground
you would-
preferably, but if you can't,
you-
you want to
So
get
we're
to
keep
the
watching
lowest
that south
Air,
of
something
Harper,
tells
whatever
me
buildings are
you
in
would
the
trade
between
or
between the outside world
something
as
tells me
possible.
you would
Some other
trade
places
a
that need to be taken
McDonald's
care of
Happy
Oh,
Meal for a
really?
fucking baby.
tornado on the
Only
ground,
Harper, but
possibly
also
Of course I would.
tornado on the ground.
You're a
Danville,
Florida.
Freeport,
You're a
and
Floridian. You
Argonia,
are a
you're not
fucking
technically in
Floridian.
that
Yes,
polygon,
I will
but
be
I would
live
take shelter
tomorrow
out there as well.
for sure.
And this
Thursday
a
is kind of
dangerous
50-50.
storm.
Either
Let's
there's two
continue
ways
to,
Thursday's going to go. Either I'm
observe it
chasing
from a couple
or
different
I'm
angles here.
covering.
We got a
one
lot
or
of
the other.
options.
There's no in between. Either I will be live
But this
chasing,
right here is what it looks like from
or live streaming this.
Scott's point of view.
And by this, I mean this risk right here. I'll either be live streaming this risk.
And,
Actually,
honestly, our closest person.
it depends when
is
storms
not
fire on
pointing
Thursday.
at
If
the
storms
base of
fire
the storm
at
right now.
3,
So
I will
as
be
soon as
able
they
to
do that,
live stream my
What?
chase.
Need a
If they
fucking
fire
camera
before 3
facing the
o'clock, I
dang
won't be able
storm.
to
That's
live stream my
tornado.
chase. I don't know when I'll be live tomorrow, because that depends on how today plays out. So we're just going to cover today, and then sometime tomorrow I'll be live.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm currently looking
So
at
likely
the
still a good area of rotation here southeast of Harper. Could still be a tornado on the ground there.
Ow!
How is one of his crew members impersonating an officer?
All right, let's see that new mesoscale discussion. See if it's for either our cold front or these storms.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Let's see here.
What? There's no fucking way. There's no way. I need fucking video and I need fucking video proof.
I want video proof.
Okay, so that's going to be for south central Kansas and north central Oklahoma. That's for these storms here.
And so is true.
Let me go over to my early MCD getter here. Oh, that's a special MCD. That is a special MCD for
Then
this storm.
I don't
Oh,
believe
really?
you. I don't fucking
Okay.
believe you.
That's what I'm saying.
Most favorable corridor for a couple supercell
Get somebody to
tornadoes
show
during
us
the next
video
couple
proof, because
hours.
no way you would have
A
deleted it.
semi-discrete supercell has
Why would
been
you delete
evolving
it?
across portions
Wait,
of south central
Well,
Kansas along the
Jefferson,
northern
Jefferson.
side of a remnant outflow
Jared, shut
boundary
up.
that intersects
Jefferson.
across far south central Kansas this afternoon.
Where's the proof
Along and
of
north of that
fucking
boundary, an
tofu
earlier sheltered
threatening
boundary
you?
layer with back to
Yeah,
easterly
exactly.
surface winds has been
It sounds like you're
stabilizing
making it up
substantially,
now.
with
'Cause
For
temperatures
real?
in the low to mid 80s.
It sounds like
Didn't-
you're making shit up
This
just to
strongly
get
unstable
attention.
surface-based air mass combined
It's
with
starting-
around 50
it's
knots
starting
of
to piss
effective
me
wind
off.
shear will favor intensification
I need
of
to
this
know
ongoing
the
supercell,
truth.
and
I
additional
need to know
cells
the
will
truth and
develop on
proof.
its flank.
I
Additionally,
believe you on
a
the
large
tofu one, 'cause
clockwise
tofu was
curvature
like,
photograph of 200 to 250 0 to 1 kilometer SRH per an earlier VWP
cool.
data
Okay,
and
then send us,
mesoanalysis will support a
then
couple
send
of
us the thing,
supercell tornadoes with any
user.
sustained supercells in
We
this
can talk to
corridor
him.
over the next couple of hours. So, greatest tornado threat is definitely going to be focused with this supercell here and this
Exactly.
general area. So, additional storms will likely develop
Just
on
stop
its flank
capping there.
and behind it.
Just say you don't like you don't like Reaper, okay, Brett? It's okay. No. If you don't, I'm not gonna.
What
You know
in
what?
the
I fucking give up. I fucking give.
Wow. Well, that's something. That's a lot of news in the last hour. Outside of weather, that is a lot of stuff that just happened. Jeez. I'm not going to mention it specifically, but my goodness, that's crazy. New severe thunderstorm warning. Or actually, upgraded severe thunderstorm warning for observed 70 mile an hour winds and observed 1.5 inch hail just north of Wichita out here in south central Kansas. So preferably be in your safe spot if you're on the northern side of this severe. This little area right in here, this small region, not that large of a severe, is packing quite the punch. Could even see greater than 1.5 inch hail and observed 70 mile an hour winds there. So Park City, I would recommend if you're in Park City, just north of Wichita, I would advise you get to your safe spot because that is a pretty intense severe storm about to move through the northern side there, right into Park City. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of that MCD so it's not as messy. Yeah, also, just real quick, Tropical Storm Eric, I believe it is. Yep, Eric. Forecasted to rapidly intensify tomorrow, potentially as high as a low-end Category 3 hurricane. So we're looking at a Category 2 to low-end Category 3 landfall on the coastline here of south central Mexico. I just want to mention that very briefly, just to update you on that storm, that big tropical storm. That thunder is going crazy outside. It doesn't even have that much thunder and lightning with it, but I can hear it. It's about to start raining for me. I'm about to start getting a drizzle. Alright, I don't see a hook echo with this anymore. I don't see any good areas of rotation, so I don't believe this is actively producing a tornado anymore. But it is still observed, so of course be in your safe spot if you're in Harper or surrounding areas here in south central Kansas. Keep an eye on that terminal radar because that terminal radar is going to show us some pretty good data over the next about hour or so as this storm progresses eastward. Let's see here. So we're gonna keep watching this tornado warning storm here in Harper. I don't believe it is actively producing a tornado anymore. I'm hoping that Wichita radar comes back on. That's going to be very, very crucial for storms later tonight. It's crucial for storms right now, actually. Storms are impacting the Wichita radar site at the moment. So it's crucial right now, actually. The newest stage RRR, which really don't want to be looking at it and taking it, very seriously, but just in case you were wondering, the newest stage RRR doesn't have our greatest wind threat until nearly 1 a.m. Eastern. No longer an observed warning there east of Harper. So if you're in Harper, you're good to come out of your safe spot. You can see this red line right here. That's your tornado warning. So downtown Harper is good to come out of their safe spot. Still be away from doors and windows because quite a lot of lightning with it. But also, yeah, this is no longer an observed tornado warning, so not on the ground. Yeah, the main wind threat looks to be near midnight Central
Time. Are moving in. We've got a confirmed report of a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust not too long ago from back up there towards.
I'm in a severe thunderstorm warning.
The storm that's moving in right now.
I have been targeted.
Zooming out just a little bit here.
Yo, I'm cooked.
This is what it looks like at
power's going out with this one.
Storm comes in now. Let me zoom out a lot.
And man, I almost want to go chase this. Look at that.
Because this is what we're dealing with. We've got a Boeing segment inside of this storm here where we've got a really strong, burst of wind moving through Childs.
I almost want to go chase that.
And this is going to be the strongest part of the storm that does impact places like Bel Air, Minnehaha,
that was the power.
Downtown Wichita, and maybe even over there towards Andover over the next 30 minutes or so.
I'm telling y'all, I'm literally about to lose power. It's probably barely even raining outside right now.
Once again, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts happening right now on this camera, which
it's about to start raining.
Of this camera
I'm gonna lose power right when it starts raining.
Next to Valley Park. If you know where Valley Park is, then you know what I'm looking at here.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
My goodness.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
In, Pennsylvania.
What? Tornado warning in West Central Pennsylvania.
Right, Pennsylvania. So let's take a
West Central Pennsylvania here, just west of, or rather south.
Go see what in the world that's all about.
Rimmersburg.
You guys are now under a tornado warning.
Rimmersburg
we do have some rotation here west of Kellersburg. There's about 400 people in that
in West Central Pennsylvania under a radar indicated tornado warning.
For the next 22 minutes, okay? This is a dangerous storm. Storm chaser Corey Gherkin is out there in the Wichita area as well, getting hit by the first round of the really strong winds that are coming in right now. So how are we doing in Wichita? Are you guys still watching out there?
Here.
Let me know how you're doing. Hopefully you guys are indoors, staying away from windows, and we're doing all right out there. Not too many damage reports coming in just yet.
Yeah, I don't see much with that tornado warning anymore.
Long, before we start hearing them roll in. Yeah, Jared's already telling me that we got a semi-truck flipped due to winds on Highway 96 near Mays, Kansas.
Be in your safe spot if you're in that tornado warning, but I don't see much with it anymore.
We lost power. We might have actually lost power at Wichita State University.
We'll have to watch this storm to potentially try and do the exact same thing.
We lost that camera at Wichita State University.
West of Harper.
So, potentially, we have a power outage at Wichita State University. So if you're just now tuning in, we do have some large hail
just got
and some
something else here
coming into Wichita, Kansas right now.
That's a fire outlook from the
SPC.
SPC.
South of Wichita, we've got a tornado warning that's going to continue for the next 36 minutes for Harper and Kingman counties in Kansas. So we want to take shelter out there if we haven't already.
So again, just make sure you're in your safe spot if you're under this tornado warning. It is the, I believe, the only active
watch this,
warning.
Come in here.
Oh no, we got that one in Pennsylvania.
We haven't lost power yet.
So we have that tornado warning back out in Pennsylvania here.
Corey.
So be in your safe spot there as well.
Okay, yeah, we got Wichita State University back.
Two tornado warnings. One
Wichita
tornado
State
warning
up,
in our main
as I,
risk area,
continue to
and
try
then
to
one
find,
tornado
the next
warning
places that are going to be hit.
in
But
what,
from
a
I
general
can tell,
thunderstorm risk,
based
right?
off of the pattern
Oh
of
my
which
goodness,
traffic cameras
barely
work and
in
which
the
ones
marginal.
don't,
Look at
we've
that.
definitely lost power now.
Not in the
of
marginal
Westlake
for
Village
tornadoes though,
and
but it is
south of
still
Childs
in the
Acres.
marginal
That's like
risk.
the corridor where we've got the biggest
That's the
problems.
cutoff between
Also,
the
we
level
just
1 out
got
of
in
5
an
and the level
official
what we
report,
call 0.5.
70 mile per hour winds
0.5.
in Childs Acres. 70 mile per hour wind.
That's your
Official
0.5 risk.
report,
That's your 1 out of
coming in
5
just
risk.
now.
Barely in that marginal. I'm in the only severe in almost, no, the entire East Coast. Mississippi is the next closest severe.
So definitely this is going to cause lots of damage here.
I've been targeted.
For a lot of people. As this comes into Riverside next. Riverside, you guys are next.
I know
Then
if I
would
went
say
out and
Bel
tried to
Air,
chase this
Arthur
thing,
Heights, Tullerville.
there ain't, it's
pretty
going to
much
die right out. That's what it's
downtown
going to do.
Wichita.
It will die right
Get
out.
ready. It's coming in.
I
Up to
swear, if it
hurricane
starts
force
doing
wind gusts,
anything
at
more,
least
dude,
60 to 70
it's
mile per
already
hour wind
severe.
gusts.
That's like the craziest storm I've had since probably like early May.
Oh, what's going on here?
Nah, it's passing to my south. I'm not gonna see much, but
Oh, there's the semi.
I'll see like the northern end of it. I'm not down here. I wish I was. I'd go down here if I could.
That's been flipped over there. This camera that
I'll
I'm
stay here
looking
and
at
cover for
is,
y'all.
specifically on Interstate 235.
But yeah, I'm getting like the
just
northern
off
side of that
of
rain,
the,
so I'm not gonna
West
I'm not
Zoo
gonna be able to see
Boulevard.
much even if I go outside.
So West Zoo Boulevard, that's the road underneath the overpass, I believe. So this is a live look right now at the.
It probably has a
some
shelf.
of the damage that's happening out there in Wichita now. If it's not raining, if the storm hasn't started yet where you are, just know that there's winds strong enough to knock over semis coming into the area known as Riverside.
Actually, no,
right
there's a
now.
camera.
It's literally
in
the
Ridgeway,
same burst of
but
wind.
I
that's
know
about
it's
to hit
pointing
you in
towards the
Riverside that just went through here.
highway. Yeah, I know there's 2 cameras out here. There's 2
from what I can
public
tell, I think we've lost power
traffic
over
cameras out here. One in here, one in here.
In County Acres as well. All the traffic cameras are down over there. So if you're just now tuning
But
in,
none of them are in
we
the
do
best
have a damaging storm
visual
moving through the
standpoint.
town of Wichita, Kansas right now. We've got damage reports coming in all over the place, and we've just got tons of
Let's go
visual
back over to our
of this big storm hitting as well.
terminal radar.
I haven't
That
seen a
one's
whole lot
getting
of
pretty
hail,
close. I wonder if my mic picked
but,
up on
like,
that
just
thunder.
tons of very damaging winds. All right, let me get set up here.
Still observed 1.5-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds going into Park City, barely north of Wichita in south central Kansas right now.
Yeah, the strongest winds, at least as far as the next round goes, that's about to move into literally downtown Wichita right now. So
Man, the HRRR is... Yeah, that's why I don't like to use it day of. It
speaking
just
of
it
downtown
keeps
Wichita,
changing
here's another
every
view of that.
every model run. It's a completely
Not
different
sure
outcome.
exactly what's going on here, but you can see the emergency lights there.
Like now it
I'm
shows a bunch of
currently,
supercells in
looking
an
at,
hour.
No,
It
this
goes
isn't
from
Zoo
line
Boulevard. This is
segments
also
to
Interstate
nothing to
235
full-blown
near
supercells
West
in a matter of
Breeze.
like
Near West
2 to
Breeze,
3
we've
runs.
got damage reports coming in from over here as well. So
But I
we
do
can
think
kind
we
of
will
look at-
see storms
it's very
fire
clear to
off of
see
this
what's happening
outflow
here just
boundary
from
back
looking at
out
the
here.
traffic cameras. But let me
Might
kind of
be
regroup
the
and
start
just
of
show
some
you
storms
what's
firing
going on
up.
with a broader view from the radar. This is the storm that's moving
Right
through
there.
Wichita right now, and you see how it's
Could
kind
be
of
the
got this
start of some
Boeing segment
cells.
right here that just happens to be going right through downtown
We'll need to
Wichita.
watch that
That's
just to
where we've
see if
got the
these storms can
strongest
really
winds.
explode or not.
And you see this blue G right here? That is an
Which,
official 70
personally,
mile per
I
hour wind
think,
gust report that's just come in.
I think they
a
will.
few moments ago. So we've got 70
I think they
mile per
will
hour
explode
winds
in the
that are
next
moving
2 to
into
3
downtown
hours.
Wichita right now. Now, next in line,
Because
the
it's
storm's
such a
moving
good
this way,
environment,
right?
and now you have
Next
an
in
outflow
line, we've
boundary,
got
and that's going to be a
Minnehaha,
forcing
We've
mechanism.
got Andover. We do have the IAB Airport, Hayesville. We've got places like Mona K Heights,
We
Eastboro,
shall see.
Cross Creek Estates. You guys all need to be getting ready for damaging winds.
Also,
as
additional
this
storm
comes in.
development should occur out here in northeast New Mexico. all hazards will be possible with that. Although the tornado threat is definitely a lot lower. Lowest threat is tornadoes there.
All right, let's go back over here real quick. Once again, this is a live view of a semi that was turned over by the winds.
Just a bunch of severe warnings
still have power
scattered across the U.S. right now. We've got
try to cover the
like
winds,
4, 5 in southeast Wyoming, 1 in South Dakota,
Kansas.
3 in southern Kansas,
But it's getting harder and
1
harder to find
over my house in southern
working
Virginia,
cameras.
1 in south central Mississippi. I think that's the majority of our warnings.
Also, one of the places that I'm seeing here is
and still a tornado warning in effect for a very small region here in west central Pennsylvania,
with Wesley Medical
just
Center.
to the west of New Bethlehem.
Literally within a couple of minutes,
how you're going to say that.
Some of the strongest winds are about to hit there.
Which is really, I mean, these are all like small towns here. There's not many big cities in this area. It's very far from any big cities.
In Wichita, Kansas, some of the strongest winds are just now moving into
not
the
a completely rural
right
area, but it's not the most populated area in Pennsylvania. All right.
God. Yeah, I'll try to put this up on maybe not the 3 view. All right, so moving a little bit farther to the east, this is what it looks like on the front side.
I'm going to have to do something in like
here,
20 minutes, just a heads
near
up.
the Wesley Medical Center. This is just
It'll only take me like 2-3 minutes. Yeah, I don't see much rotating with this storm anymore.
What's likely going to happen
at the moment? I don't see it rotating much.
We're going to lose power before we see the strongest winds. You know, the reason I like showing these is because it does a really good job of giving people an idea of what to expect. Like this right here,
yeah.
What's happening right now.
Yeah, that doesn't show any rotation at all.
Is what we can expect.
No greens.
In your neighborhood, within the next 10 minutes in Eastboro, even though it's not doing anything yet. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's currently happening over here by the Wesley Medical Center.
So we'll wait to see how the rest of today plays out.
Eastboro, over there towards Springdale.
Like I said before, main event really should kick up towards
something you
dark
definitely don't want
is
to be
what
outside
we're thinking.
for. It looks like a hurricane. You know what I mean? We've tracked hurricanes through traffic cameras before.
But before then, we're going to have a lot of hailstones,
exactly like
a lot of 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, and we could see a few tornadoes. And then that peak is going to come back, the peak is going to occur, and we're going to start seeing
right now too.
higher damaging wind potential.
So
90 to 100 mile an hour winds there.
To be out there in Wichita, Kansas.
Just realized I'm using the Wichita radar, so the Wichita radar is back up.
The strongest part of the storm, I still believe, is likely happening on the northern side of town. But
look at all that
even
data
down
it
here,
skipped.
right in the middle of like downtown
Hey,
Wichita,
at least it's up now.
It's getting
That's
pretty
really
rough.
important. Yeah, so just a cluster of storms here.
Wichita State University, where the winds
cluster
are
of
just
storms in
now
this
starting to ramp
area
up.
capable of producing 60 to 70 mile an hour winds and 1 to 1.75 inch hail. That southern one still capable of producing a tornado. Just southwest of Conway Springs. I was just about to point out this storm.
3 view here.
That is now a severe thunderstorm warning for south central Kansas here. That is well to the west of Harper.
Dang. Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. And, you know, we're really kind of focused in on Wichita right now, but if I zoom out a little bit, you can see that this is also going to make it over there towards El Dorado and Augusta and Douglas eventually. So get ready for that. We are getting lots of there's
still a tornado warning there for 10 more minutes
of damage.
Just be in your safe spot.
So I just want to make sure everybody's ready for it. We're definitely going to get a lot of power outages. Get ready for power outages in Derby, Andover, and Benton over the next little bit.
No longer a tornado warning in south central Kansas. So we're down to 1 tornado warning, and it is the one in Pennsylvania.
And yeah, if you guys obviously
so just to give you an idea of what we're gonna see over the next couple hours.
But if you have any photos or videos that you
we're gonna keep seeing these storms fire up around Wichita. A lot of storms fire up around here. We'll start to see more cells fire further to the west.
Or you can just send us
the ones in
Twitter.
western Oklahoma, northeast panhandle of Texas. This is mainly going to be big time hail here. And then by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight, we should start to see
please
our main line fire well northwest of Wichita,
just as much, if not
in central
much more,
Kansas.
Then I need it here. Okay.
And there's a lot of uncertainty on the
we've got, another,
convective evolution of this MCS/derecho.
On the west side
some models have shown it falling completely apart. Some models have shown it not even forming. And other models have shown it becoming a full-blown 6-hour derecho from central Kansas all the way into northwestern Arkansas. So
we're going to continue to track this.
We'll see which way things end up going, but either way, it is going to be a particularly dangerous night for residents across northern and northeastern Oklahoma. Likely going to be a completely nocturnal MCS. The strength of it is also a question mark too. There's a lot of questions on convection. It feels like it's the same kind of setup as we had 9 days ago in north central Texas, where there was a lot of uncertainty on just convection and how convection would evolve.
To the south of Wichita. So this is the one down there between Argonia and Conway Springs. So
continuation of an even smaller tornado warning here in west central Pennsylvania.
So Corey Gherkin's given us a live view of that. We continue to see this semi-truck flipped over here on the west side of Wichita, Kansas. This is really close to where we got that 75-mile-per-hour wind gust report. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on there. As far as I know, the traffic just started moving again. And
little storm.
That's pretty much all the information I have on that right now.
Let's see. Where is that?
So, yeah, if you're just now tuning in, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Wichita.
Yeah, I know where this is.
And it's just now moving into places like Minnehaha, Eastboro. You guys are about to
trying to figure out what exit that is.
Pretty hard here by some damaging winds, maybe in excess of 75
For some reason, I
miles
can't
per
picture
hour.
where that is. Oh, that's near horse pasture. Okay, I know where that is now. Yeah, that's not far from me at all. Like I said, I'm getting the rain part. There's not much lightning with it, so I think I'm good. I don't think I'll lose power. I'm getting light rain and all the lightning seems to be to my south. Welcome to a Virginia severe, Grumpy Grandpa. We get heavy rain showers or severe warned out here, because they can knock out thousands of people without power. So,
yeah, and by the way, I'm seeing everything.
Semi is flipped over here in Wichita.
I'm gonna let it pile up here.
So traffic jam is definitely going to be occurring out
here. This
is
an incredible view from Corey, though. This is crazy.
I don't know exactly where.
Corey's just been on a roll here recently.
I don't know exactly where that semi's flipped over at, but there is a semi flipped over because of these winds. And I wouldn't even, I wouldn't rule out definitely 70, potentially even 70-plus mile-an-hour winds going through the northeast side of downtown Wichita.
Let's go back to radar.
This is during rush traffic as well.
I'll show you some more information about this.
So there is a lot of cars out here
it is a considerable
just stuck on the interstate.
In effect for about 583,000 people here. This includes Wichita. This
Thankfully,
also
not tornadic, so that's good news. But
Bad news is it's still 70 mile-an-hour winds
has
and
been
a bunch
issued.
of cars
Kansas,
that are being
right,
impacted by very heavy rain, 70 mile-an-hour winds, and some hail.
Stay away from windows. We're expecting
New tornado
70
warning
mile per hour
in
winds,
south
of
central
course,
Colorado.
and
I'm
then
not too
also
surprised about that. There's actually going to be a chance for a tornado or two out here in south central Colorado going into northeast New Mexico. I think I mentioned that not too long ago.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And there's your first tornado warning out.
A
in
new
this area.
tornado warning
35
has been
miles
issued.
South Central Colorado.
So yeah, we've got a tornado warning. In
Wow,
effect over
Pennsylvania
here
with
for,
the
Los
second tornado
Alamos
warning
County
out
in
here.
Colorado.
A second tornado
And we've
warning in
got one
Pennsylvania.
effect for,
That one looks quite a
portions of
bit better.
Pennsylvania as
Better
well.
area of
We'll go
rotation.
check out the Pennsylvania one right here in a
Located
second.
right along the I-70 corridor.
I'm just going to check out and
in
see
South
if we can't
Central
see anything
Pennsylvania.
here. Okay, yeah, not seeing anything. Let's fly over to Pennsylvania. We've got
So
a
both of our tornado
warning
warnings
right now for Bedford and Fulton
are in
counties
Pennsylvania right now,
in
but
Pennsylvania.
we
We're
actually
gonna want
did
you
just
to
get one in
take
Colorado. So we
shelter
have 3
out
warnings,
here,
one in South Central
near
Colorado
the-
and 2 in
the
Pennsylvania.
communities of Amaranth, Point View.
Let's see what the terminal
Lashley,
radar has
and
here.
Dot.
Not a very focused area
Amaranth?
of velocities,
I'm not sure how
so
to say
that's
that.
good news.
But Purcell and Dot, you guys are under a tornado warning. Bedford and Fulton counties in Pennsylvania, take
At
shelter
least from
now.
what I can tell.
There is some rotation right here near
Not very
State
concentrated
Game,
velocities, but
lands
if we
number
go ahead
49
and
south and
pause
east of
this,
Robinsonville.
looks
and
like there
that's
was
what we're
definitely
watching
some
as it moves
60
off,
to
the
70
east.
mile an hour wind gust going right through Wichita. And I circled this area because honestly, I think that might have been an area of rotation.
Back